Well, hello there. Welcome to Klein Farm Channel. I'm Tyler, and today I'm going to be making Tater Tot Casserole, and I'm going to show you how to do it almost every step of the way. I might not show every single step, but I'm going to do the best I can on it. It's going to be very, very good. I'm not going to eat too much of it because I'm on my diet, but everybody else is going to eat it. But here, take a look. I'm starting off by thawing out some hamburger. I had it thawed out since this morning, but it was still a little hard there in the middle, so I put it in the sink and ran water over it. It's pretty thawed out now. This is about a pound of 73-27 hamburger, which is 73% meat, 27% fat. Now I personally prefer 80-20, but 73 is cheaper significantly. And when I get my own farm again and land, I'll have my own cattle to raise, and I will have my own hamburger I can make. I can make my own hamburger then. And it'll be 80-20, not 73-27. But I'm thankful for this because it's cheap and it's still pretty good. It just has more fat in it. You just got to drain more grease out of it. Got my Pyrex oven dish here. I'm going to put the hamburger all the way across the bottom of it. Raw, I'm not going to cook it. It'll cook in the oven. Now make sure you wash your hands first. And just flatten out the hamburger along the whole bottom of it. The tray here. Well, I might have to get out more hamburger. This might not be enough to cover the bottom. But I'm going to do my best, see how this goes. Because I'm not eating any of it, so if I make too much, it'll go bad in the refrigerator as leftovers. I am extremely close to being into the 170s. I'm 182 pounds right now, and I really want to break into the 70s. I've been in the 80s way too long, and my time's running out from my diet. I got about 2 months left to get down to about 155. I think I can stretch it enough. I don't want to get another pack of hamburger out. This ought to be good. It looks pretty good. But I've been neglecting my diet for the last few months. Well, this month, October, I've been really keeping to it pretty good, but I've had a few cheat days that really set me back a whole lot. But August and September, I took off for the 2-2-2 diet. 2 months hardcore dieting, 2 months off, 2 months more hardcore dieting. So August and September, I gained a lot of weight back. And I've already lost it here in October. But I was 180 pounds last week, so I should have been like 169 around now instead of trying to get to 179. I gained back up to 185, and now I'm 182 again. But enough diet talk. Let's stick to the food. That way everybody keeps watching and don't click off. There's that there. Then I'm going to put some carrots, corn, green beans, and diced tomatoes in it. Probably around a half of can of each, because a full can will fill that way too full. I'm going to cook up a little bit of rice to put in with it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Now every time I make rice, I always make way too much. So I'm only going to put a little bit in. I'm going to use a measuring spoon today. I'm going to use a half a cup. Just a half a cup, and that ought to be plenty. Now I'm going to start opening all these up, because I'm going to mix them all together and put them in a leftover container for the ones I'm not going to use. I'll use them when I make soup or something later. Voila. Drain the juice out of the corn, green beans, and carrots, but don't drain the diced tomato juice. The water's boiling. It's probably too much water, but that's alright. Put the rice in. Look at that. A half a cup is a lot more rice than you thought, isn't it? I hope it ain't too much. So I have about a half a can of each of them, then the full can of diced tomatoes. And I have all the rest of them here in the leftover container. And the rice is cooking. I'm going to layer it here with the beef on the bottom. Then I'm going to put some rice right on top of that. Then I'm going to put the diced tomatoes down. And all the other vegetables on top, I'm going to layer them. Then I'm going to put a real thick layer of cheese. Then I'm going to put some tater tots on top of that. Then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top of the tater tots. So, should be pretty good. I'm going to put some seasoning directly onto the meat there on the bottom, because I don't really know the best way to do it, because I'm not mixing it all together, so I'm just going to put the seasoning right on the bottom. A little bit of salt, spread out, a lot more pepper, because I love pepper. I think pepper is one of the best spices there is, very simple. Oregano, because I put oregano on everything. This is one of my favorite spices as well. Gourmet burger seasoning. It has a different mix of onions and bell peppers and all kinds of stuff in it. It's really good. Then the magic blend from Haas's Steakhouse. It's mainly garlic. And the rice is about done. I'm going to drain the rice in the sink, even though I normally don't do that. I had a little bit too much water in there, so I'm going to have to drain some of it. I've never made it with rice in it before, but I think it'll be really good. Normally I don't make it with rice, but my wife wanted rice in it, so I'm putting rice in it. Alright, I'd say it's ready. Looks pretty done to me, and not too much. So that is what a half a cup of rice looks like. Now I'm going to put the rice down right directly on top of the hamburger here. There, I just dumped the whole pot in. I'd say I probably could have used a little bit more, but this will probably be enough too. I'd rather have just a little bit less than way too much rice. Because normally when I make way too much, I have to make an entire another meal out of it. Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, you can still see a little bit of meat through there, but for the most part, it's a good covered layer. Now I'm going to put the diced tomatoes on with the sauce. Add some tomato sauce into it. I'm going to spread this all out, make a good flat layer as best I can. Well, I kind of wish I had more tomato sauce to level it out more. This side has more than this side, but it ought to be alright. Put some corn down. Spread it all out. Carrots. Then I have the whole other half of cans of all these vegetables in that spare jug there. If you would want to put more in, but I'm just going to put this amount in, because it'll be plenty. Green beans. Spread them out. With this 73% hamburger here at the bottom, I don't think this will be dry at all, even without all the extra sauce. There's how it looks so far. Then we're going to put some extra sharp cheddar, a little bit of Colby Jack, a little bit of Velveeta, a little bit of relish, and a little bit of Parmesan and Romano. And a little bit of breadcrumbs too. Then the tater tots on top. So first off, I'm going to put some Velveeta and relish in. Just a little bit of relish, just for taste. And spread it out a little bit. Relish and carrots are the secret to very good bolognese sauce. And spread out a little bit. Don't put too much. Open up your Velveeta. Liquid gold. Cut a hunk about this size. About 1.5 inches. Then just slice that up into little slices. Then let's put them down across the middle of it. It's gonna melt, so it doesn't have to be too neat. Now you're done with the Velveeta. You can put that away. Get a little bit of the extra sharp cheddar. And just sprinkle that over all the open areas yet. Wherever you can see vegetables yet. That'll be good. Then the Colby Jack. Sprinkle same spot. Just try to cover up all the vegetables with it. You don't gotta cover all the Velveeta. Just cover like wherever there ain't none of that. Because remember, this ain't the top layer. Then you can sprinkle a little bit of the Parmesan and Romano over top. Don't gotta put too much, just sprinkle it. There you go. Then just sprinkle a little bit of breadcrumbs. Not a lot at all, just a little bit. Because breadcrumbs will really stick to the cheese and you don't want that. So just make it, you don't want any big groups like that of breadcrumbs. I probably should have actually put the breadcrumbs directly on top of the hamburger. So next time, do that. Alrighty, came to the tater tots time. Grab out some tots and just start covering the whole top of it. Hopefully I have enough in this bag. I made some yesterday. I fried some up yesterday for lunch. And we should have enough yet. If not, I'll put French fries on top. Just keep covering the whole thing. Well, I packed them too tight. I didn't have enough left over, but I'm gonna move some stuff around and fill up the whole little gap here. I'm gonna move some of these ones here in the top row sideways, and that'll make up some room there. There you go. That looks a lot better, don't it? There you go. Hamburger, rice, vegetables, cheese, breadcrumbs, tater tots. Then on the tippy top, I'm going to put more of the Parmesan Romano. So there's that. Well, no, now all I got to do is pop it in the oven for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to put it in at around 375 and see how that goes. Looks pretty good. Let's hope it tastes pretty good. We'll be back in just like that. Got the oven at 375 degrees. About to pop it in. Say an hour. Let's see how it goes from there. Well, I think it's pretty close to being done. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out and check it. It looks good. That boiling there around the corners. I'd say it's done, and I had it in there for 51 minutes. I'll let it cool off here for a couple minutes and I'll get it out on a plate for you to look at. Looks pretty good. Looks really good, really cheesy.
Okay.